Curtis, and you're watching G5CU.
And I am Bakari Ifasigun Lindsay of Coba, and you're watching G5CU.
I've been dancing for over 30 years. I no longer perform. I got called to dance. We leave it at that. And right now, I see my role as passing on the knowledge that I have and also learning from this new generation.
I think I've been involved in dance, I would say, probably for about 35 years. I essentially would say I began dancing probably about 27 years when I seriously thought that this was something that would take me somewhere spiritually and physically. I'm still performing. I'm hoping to do another 13 or 14 years on stage and then bow out gracefully. For me, I see many roles. I think the primary role for me right now is deepening my level of performance, is understanding myself as a person and infusing that into what I put on stage, and trying to create work, when I create work that would have a life long after.
Almost 22 years now. Initially, it was started as a platform for recent graduates. It evolved very quickly into an organization that deals in terms of pushing forward Black dance, Africanist dance, dance from the diaspora, and educating the Canadians more so, as we are diasporic people in Canada, but educating them about the richness of Africanist forms of dance. And it was necessary for us as dancers of color. It was necessary for our children, because there was no knowledge and nothing in terms of anything to reference to where Black professional dance was concerned at that time. We've been through lots over the 22 years, and we've had highs and we've had lows, like all great journeys. I think I would like to talk more so of where we have hopefully had positive impact on people that have come through our training program, our professional training program, people that have come through our children's program, and even some that have come through just our open classes, that there is some positive impact, that there is something that they take from here and it put it into place or into practice in their whether it's school, whether it's work, their daily activities. We sometimes get people who come back and just give us a little story about how Coba has just grounded them, how Coba has opened doors for them, and even them becoming activists in their own right, which I think is very essential, where it's our passion, and we have been pushing for these 22 plus years, and will continue to push. But it's necessary that it's continued and it's carried on, and the only way that can happen is if the impact that we have is that great enough that the next generation and generations to come, and even people from outside looking in, see the validity of Coba.
Interesting that I think we began as most arts organizations begin with a need to express ourselves artistically, and very quickly had to do a 360 and begin to express ourselves through identity. It moved very quickly away from just about the work and more about who we were. And I think over the years, as we begin to solidify who we are as individuals, so we pass on to the students and the people who come within our reach. And therefore, I think we're a company about transformation, and we do that through artistic practice. But I think the big nugget for me is that everyone that comes through these doors leave with some sort of transformation. The work that we put on stage, the performances, the audience leaves transformed. When we teach workshops, the participants leaves transformed. And I know most arts organizations will say that, what we do is transformative. But for us, it's a reality. I think the inherent nature of the practice that we house within this organization has facilitated and necessitated the fact that you cannot be an individual that is static and be a part of this organization. And for some people, that's a long time, because there are some people who've been here for 22 years, there's some people who've been here for 2 months, there's some people who've been here for 5 years, a year, but everyone leaves transformed. They come in with a particular point of view, and when they walk out the doors, that point of view is either heightened in some way or fully transformed. I think for me, that's the huge impact of Coba as an organization in the community, and I hope long after our artistic voices are no longer that's propelling what's happening here, that essence will remain as part of the organization. Because you can create great work and perform it and get applause, and that's one aspect, but I think the human condition and the need and the joy of transforming the human condition is an important factor. And I think most great artists will tell you that's the point and the reason why art is that survives this century with all the bombs and the wars and what's happening. It doesn't matter what, you're going to war-torn countries that's bombed to death, and you find a beautiful piece of art under all the rubble, and art always survives because the purpose, the divine purpose of it being on the earth is to transform.
My discipline in dance, my genre of dance, is contemporary dance, and that's broad. My foundation is from my African heritage, and so any form of dance that I do is infused by my heritage. Yes, I trained in West African, and yes, I trained in Caribbean indigenous forms, but it still comes down to the foundation. Pieces that I create now still have a connection to my history, it has a connection to my story, it has a connection spiritually, and so everything throughout my creativity is infused from my African heritage.
Um, I think I would define my form of dance as movement because that's the place that I come from first. It's about movement. And the movement comes from within my body, and my body within the body houses a lot of different, I would say, movement aesthetics. If we want to get formal about this, I trained formally in ballet, traditional techniques, modern traditional techniques, Graham, Limon, Cunningham, and I think I've come full circle to take all of that movement and bring it right back to the source. The use of the torso, the liberalness, the hyperextension, I see clearly in my lineage. And therefore, at this point, I am taking that lineage and expanding it to arrange to create a new movement legacy for the next generation. So when I create work, it is taking all the technical skill from all those formal techniques and harnessing it with the movement and the rhythm and the expression and the spirituality that comes from my lineage, which is the African. I think for me, 10 years ago I used to see. Now I hope and I pray. Because when I look at the movement of the arts, but specifically in dance, it is difficult to see anymore because changes are happening so rapidly, and for me personally, a lot of those changes lack foundation, and we know if we want to get really philosophical, anything without a foundation has no life. It is eventually going to crumble. It is going to look beautiful for a time, it's going to look sturdy for a time, but it will eventually crumble. And therefore, that's why I say for me, I don't see anymore. When I came into the world of dance in North America, Canada specifically, the demographics and the milieu was very different. People danced because they had something to say. People danced because they had something to express. People danced because they had something to change. I don't feel that anymore. I think people dance because they want to be viewed, and that frightens me. And therefore, when I'm asked what do I see, I don't see. I hope and I pray.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that because it's a very difficult question, and I do not have an answer in terms of where I see Africanist dance. I hope that it is that some kernel is laid into each and every one that comes through here, and when I'm gone, when Bakari is gone or gone on to other things, that there is someone that have a passion for Africanist art and have a passion for Africanist dance and music, and I guess envision it obviously still keeping that rooted foundation, but maybe developing something new. That's my hope. What I see, I am not sure right now.
This is exactly in 1 week because next Wednesday night we're presenting our 21st season. It's entitled Legacy 3, Bringing It Home, and the title is very poignant in that for the past 2 years we've been doing work in our home studios here. We have our studio theater as part of our studios here at the Daniel Spectrum, so we're bringing it home. So you're seeing work that's fully polished but in the raw, because we're in your face. It's a small space, so the energy is right there in your laps. You can't run, you can't hide, you just have to sit there and engage. So Legacy 3 at at Coba Studio Theatre, which is 585 Dundas Street East, the Daniel Spectrum. It runs from the 19th to the 21st. All shows at 8 p.m. It's a small space. It only has 70 seats, so don't think you're going to show up the night and might get a seat. You want to try and get your tickets before. Tickets can be purchased on the Eventbrite site. You go in, just type in Legacy 3 Coba, and I'm sure it's going to come up with the listing of events that are there. So don't give me an excuse that you can't find it. It's very easy to find, and hope to see you at the performance.
And there is an offer for buy one get one free until this Friday, March the 13th. So that's your BOGO offer. It's a good deal.